Hello. Hello, hello. 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 It's me. I'm back again. It's not the end of the month, but I've been on vacation recently. And so, of course, what did I do on vacation? I went to used bookstores I've never been before. I went to thrift stores. So I have a big haul because, money you spend on vacation is fake money. That's not real money. That's fake, fake money. So I went a little crazy, but I got a lot of books and we're here to talk about them and I'm excited. So we'll just start. I got a couple big piles over here, so we'll just start. We've got Wild Magic by Tamora Pierce. The first book in The Immortals quadrilogy. I did start reading Tamora Pierce this year with her series about the girl who becomes a knight. And I thought she was fun, and a dollar, who can say no to $1.99? Who can say no to that? So I had to get it, of course, because why not? And then we have All the Wires of Pern by Anna McCaffrey. I got this from a blind date with a book, and this is actually the 11th book in this series. So, oopsie. But who cares about that? I'll probably just try raw dogging it, see how I see if it makes any sense to me at all. It probably won't, but that's exciting in its own weird way, isn't it? But I did want to read the Dragon Rider series anyway, but I put it off because like the first one was at my local library, and every time I went into my local library, it wasn't there. So maybe I'll just have to bite the bullet and buy them if this is good, or maybe just number 11 will be enough to satiate my little hunger. And then the other book I got from a blind date with the book was Where the Crawdads Sing. I actually have never read this. I'm a little late for the quote-unquote hype train, as they say. But we'll try it. We'll see how much of a dad book this is. It might actually be good. I mean, I'm sure it's actually good. It was very popular, but you know what I mean, like actually good instead of like just good to people that don't read. Then we got Bunny by Mona Awad. I'm really excited for this. This seems cool. This seems to have some very nice Secret History vibes, and I know I shit talked Secret History when I finished reading it, but that was just because Secret History made me feel horrible things. And hopefully this will make me feel more horrible things, because sometimes that's the fun part of reading, is feeling horrible things. Speaking of feeling horrible things, we've got The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa. I don't know, this just seems cool. 1984-ish, fun, interesting. I'm willing to try it out, obviously, because I bought it. And then we have On the Calculations of Volume number 1 by Slavej Bali. I apologize. We know I can't speak good. I don't know what it is about this. It just grabbed my attention. It seemed interesting. It seemed like a short read, but it also seems like even though it's short, it's not going to feel short, which is good. Excited to try it out eventually. Then we've got Strange Houses by Uketsu. Strange Houses by Uketsu. I don't know anything about this book, but House of Leaves. I still haven't read my copy of House of Leaves, even though I have a copy of House of Leaves that I bought near the start of the year. But this feels like it's going to feel like House of Leaves, which makes me excited. And also, Japanese horror is just good. There's something about their weird brains. We've got The Familiar by Leah Bardugo. Yes, I know this is the Barnes & Noble edition. Don't judge me. But I love Leah Bardugo. Six of Crows. It's like one of my favorite duologies ever. So I'm super excited to try out something that's not Grishaverse from her. Whoopee! And it's red. Isn't that cool? I don't know. I've never been one for splayed edges. They don't matter to me. That was just the version they had. So that's the version I got. And then we've got The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. Excited for this because, big, thick boy. I love a good classic. I'm excited to check out The Count of Monte Cristo. I watched that weird anime. about it. So I'm excited to read the actual book. Then we've got Bendigo Shafter. Funny name. By Louis L'Amour, the all-time great of westerns, so they say. I don't know. I got this. This one even still has the the mail-in insert in it to get your free copy of something. I don't know. I think that's funny. But Louis L'Amour. We'll check it out. Two for the Dough, next up, by Janet Ivanovich. Two for the Dough. The second Stephanie Plum book. I read the first Stephanie Plum book, and I thought, oh, this is cool. This is what I lovingly refer to as a potato chip book as well, because, you know, this book isn't going to make you think. This book isn't going to make you be like, ooh, I want to annotate this because it has such deep and exciting themes. But this is going to make you forget that you're sad because, you know, it's just kind of peaceful. I don't know. I liked the first Stephanie Plum novel. And again, this was one of those things where I was like, I'm never going to buy these. I won't bother to buy these because my local library has a bunch of these. But, you know, independent bookstores. Got to support them. And at the time, that was the only book that I'd found at that bookstore after searching for a while that I was like, this looks vaguely interesting. Because I hate to walk into an independent bookstore and buy nothing. You hate to see it coming. We got Wizard's First Rule by Terry Goodkind. You know I'm a dirty slut for a 800-page, 14-part fantasy novel. So of course I had to get Wizard's First Rule by Terry Goodkind. I've been looking for this book forever because my go-to used bookstore has like every book in this series except the first one, and I finally found the first one, so I'm excited because I was too stubborn to just go onto thrift books and buy it because I wanted to find it in the wild because it's more fun that way. Speaking of books that I was not going to go to thrift books to find because my local used bookstore has a billion copies of it. Of everyone but the first one, we've got The Soprano Sorceress by L.E. Modesti Jr. I never noticed the Jr. until right now. Again, big stupid fantasy book. I don't know. I love these covers. I love this era of covers. Something about this just seemed cool to me. And again, it was one of those things where I'd constantly go into the local used bookstore and it would be like, wow, they sure do have a lot of these Spellsong cycle books. Where's the first one? But I did finally find the first one in a basement at an antique store. So super cool. You love to see it. We've got then The Hogfather by Terry Pratchett. I buy any Terry Pratchett book. I don't have, because you don't really need to read them in chronological order, especially if it's one of these covers. I love these covers for the Terry Pratchett books. So I'm excited to read this one, even though this one's like, I don't know, 20, and I'm on like 10 or 9. Who cares? Who cares? Then we've got Of Monsters and Mainframes by Barbara Truelove. Something about this just seemed cool to me. I've had this in my list for a while, and of course, you know, had to pick it up. It was in the employee recommended section at this specific used bookstore, so I was like, all right, they think it's cool, I'll scoop it. Why not? Easy scoop. Then we have Emerson's Prose and Poetry. Ralph Waldo Emerson. I've been getting into poetry recently. I've been reading a lot of Robert Frost at the moment. I'm slowly going through a Robert Frost compilation, so I figured, why not? More American poets. Ralph Waldo Emerson. I can't wait for this to be like, he wasn't American, shut your mouth. I don't know. I like poetry, but I very rarely have anything to say about poetry because I feel like it's a bit too personal to talk about, you know what I mean? But yeah, Ralph Waldo Emerson, prose and poetry. Cool, very cool. And then we've got The Buffalo Hunter. This just seems fun. I've had my eye on this for a long time, and I'm glad I was finally able to get it at somewhere that wasn't a big box Barnes & Noble. Speaking of things I didn't get at a big box Barnes & Noble that I have my hands on, it's Catabasis, But I love R.F. Kuang. I love the Poppy Wars. I love Babel. I love R.F. Kuang. She's the GOAT. She's the queen. I'm super excited to read this book. And again, pretty edges. Isn't that cool? I love R.F. Kuang. I need to read Yellowface, too. That's another thing to pick up. And then this was kind of this wasn't particularly on my radar, but I'd heard a lot about it. And again, you hate to go to a used bookstore or a local indie bookstore and not buy a thing. So I got You Weren't Meant to Be Human by Andrew Joseph White. I don't know, seems cool. It's October. A lot of places I went to had like specific big cool Halloween displays, as you can probably tell by some of the things I got. So, you know, scooped it up. That's a lot of books. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, I should have bought one more. I didn't know I was that close to 20. But yeah, that's 19 books that I picked up just this week alone. But the thing is, I think other than maybe like 2 of those books, I did not pay retail for any of them. So that's cool. Support your local used bookstore. Support your local indie bookstore. Check thrift stores. Check antique stores. You never know what you're going to find. People are putting books anywhere, everywhere. If you're like me and crazy and will read literally anything by anyone, you're always going to find a book no matter what building you go into. And that's really cool. Thank you for being here. I'm hoping to have more stupid things to talk about as the year winds down, because usually this is when I kind of go ham. We'll see what happens. Thank you. If I don't see you before Halloween, have a good Halloween.